our math, and we're going to come to the carpet. But before we do, raise your hand and tell me, what are your expectations on the carpet? Michaela.
Follow directions.
Follow directions quickly.
Nothing in your hands.
Nothing in your hands. Sit somewhere responsible. Stay in your square. Be respectful. Voice level 0. Where should your eyes be, Albany? On the board. Good. Ready? Excellent job. Sit for you. All right. We are still talking about fractions. We're going to talk about equivalent fractions today. So our learning target is right here, and I'm going to read it first, and then you're going to read it with me. I can recognize and show that equivalent fractions have the same size. Before you read it with me, who can tell me what this big word equivalent means? Janaya?
Equal.
That means equal. So we're going to talk about how fractions are equal. What about this word? It's kind of big too. Recognize. What do we think that might mean? What do we need to do? Michaela?
You need to think about the answer and questions.
Okay. What might recognize mean? I can recognize and show. Albany?
Like if you recognize someone that you saw, one day whenever you saw someone and then you saw her again
Okay.
another day.
So Albany has a connection to real life when she recognizes someone she might know, someone she sees out. So she notices them, she remembers them, right? Ethan, you have something really quick to add?
This recognize means figure out.
Okay, this recognize means we're going to figure out and notice, and we're going to show. Good. All right, ready? We're going to read together. Mirrors on?
Mirrors on.
3, 2, 1.
I can recognize and show that equivalent fractions have the same size.
Mirrors off. Good. So I want you to look at this figure right here. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. This whole shape represents one whole. So show me with your fingers how many parts are in our whole. Show me with your fingers. How many parts are in our whole? Good. I want you to whisper to a partner, how many parts of this whole are green? All right, we'll come back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Eyes on me. Michaela, how many parts of this whole are green? One. So what fraction of our shape is green? Whisper it to me. 1/4. So we have 1/4 green. What else do you notice about this shape? What does it look like, Sarah? Okay, the 3 of them are orange. Okay, and one is what we would see in our problem sets or work we do is like it's shaded in, it's green. Albany?
And it's a square.
And it's a square. I do. I noticed that too, that it's a square. Now I want you to look at this one. Well, back and work backwards. Or upside down. Okay. What do we notice? Whisper to your friend what you notice about this shape. That's maybe different or the same as the one we just saw first. Whisper to Brandon. Whisper to Brandon too. All right, we'll come back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. First, I want to know what you notice that's different. Vanessa.
One is a stick and one is shaded green.
Okay. This is what shape is this? Did you say? Did you say it was a stick. It does look like a stick. It is a rectangle, yeah. And then she said the other one was shaped what, Julina?
A square.
Like a square. So that's what I noticed too. First off, that's what I noticed that was different. What about what's the same?
They both are 1/4 and one is blue and three is orange and the other one is 1 green, 3 orange.
So she noticed that they both have the same parts, 1 green part and 3 orange parts. So what fraction of this shape is green? Whisper to your partner. What fraction of this shape is green? All right, let's hear it.
1/4.
1/4. 1/4 of our shape is green. So what does that mean? Are our fractions equal or not equal?
Equal.
Equal. So both our shapes have equal fractions, but are they the same size?
No.
No, they look different, right? Excuse me, Daniel. Now I want you to look at one more shape. Why is this shape not equal to the other two shapes? Whisper to a partner really quick. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Daniel, why is this shape not equal to the other two?
Because it has 2 greens.
Because it has 2 greens. Does it still have the same amount of parts in the whole? 4. So what fraction of this shape is green, Sarah?
2, that one, and that one.
2 out of how many?
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. So 2/4. Shania?
Which one's the unit fraction? Like,
Well, the unit fraction is how many parts in the whole. So show with your fingers how many parts are in our whole shape. And on this shape, show me now with your other hand how many parts are green. So our fraction, the whole is 4. And then how many parts are green?
2.
2.
4 out of 2.
4
out of 2.
2/4. Good. Yes.
The first number came straight to the 2.
Yes. Sarah said she recognized that the numerator, the top number on this fraction, changed to a 2 instead of it was a 1 before. Good job. So we are talking about equivalent fractions. And can the shapes be different? Yes or no?
Yes.
Show me with your thumbs. Can the shape be different and still be equal fractions? Yes or no? Good. We are going to do an activity, but I want you to watch me do it first.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to give you a paper that looks like this on the board, and here it is in my hand. Okay? When I give it to you, do your first step. I'm going to tell you right now, but then we'll walk through it together. So you're going to color the white. How many parts in this whole first? Show me with your fingers. 3. How many parts are white? How many parts are gray? So you're going to color the white part, which is, what fraction is the white part?
Red.
You're going to color it red, but what's the fraction?
White.
What is the fraction? How many out of 3?
1 out of 3.
Raphael, 1/3. But you knew because you could predict because I have this in my hand. You're going to color it with your red crayon. Okay? I'm going to color mine real quick. And then you're going to get some scissors. And remember, our expectations with scissors, we need to be safe with them. Good. And I know that for this, I'm going to cut out the outside of my shape. And I could be in the one scrap club because I can just cut out around the black edges. Like this.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Ooh.
Has my shape changed?
No.
Have my fractions fractions change? No. No. So here's where you're going to get to be creative. You're going to cut out your shape. Eyes on me. You can cut it out into 2 parts, so I could cut it in half. You can cut it out into 3 parts. You can make, I'm going to make mine look like a wave because I just came from the beach. Okay. So after you cut out your parts, I'm only going to do 2 parts. But you can do 2, 3, or 4 parts. How many parts can you cut out? 2, 3, and 4. And then you are going to glue it on, I'm going to give you a blank piece of paper, but you have to glue it back together. You can glue it, I could glue it like this, but they can't overlap. So I can make my shape look like this. I could do it like this.
Is it like a puzzle?
Yeah, kind of like a puzzle. You don't have to put it back together. But you just have to, they have to touch, but they can't, I can't put them on top of each other. Okay?
What?
Yes, you have a
That
question?
looks like something where you blow out your hair, and that looks like a table.
Yep, looks like a blow dryer. Are there any questions about what you're going to do when you get this? No? All right, I want you to stand up on 0 and walk back to your 3. One. 0. Yes, 9.
That round thing on your cutting, it looks like Snoopy's nose.
Good job, Brenda. Want to pass these out? Ricardo's bringing you your red crayons. Sabea's bringing you your scissors. Angel's bringing you your shape, your fraction shape. And Vanessa's bringing you your blank paper. And Ruth's going to bring you some glue. If you happen to find a glue that doesn't work, just leave it on your desk and borrow from a person next to you that does work. Just pass them out. If they don't work, then they can have them. It's okay. Some of them are kind of orange. Some of them are kind of red. It's okay. When you get your paper, you can start your first step. Number 1, your step is to color. Number 2, you cut it out. Get what you get. And we don't need to spend 15 minutes coloring the right rectangle either. Just do it real fast. When she comes in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and cut.
I didn't get one.
You didn't get a crayon?
Oh, I have to check it.
No, broken buttons. Alright, we are going to spend about what period, Daniel? Here. Sarah, Daniel, Vanessa. Alright, we're having about, I'm setting my timer for 4 minutes. It doesn't matter. Use it. Some of the crayons are orange and some of them are red.
I got strawberry.
Alright, that's fine. Go behind you, Angel. No glue on your pen. You just came in. If you just came 2 or 3 other shapes and glue it onto the blank white paper. You got 2 steps down. Cut it out and then glue it on there.
Can I just cut it into strips?
You can, but don't you want to be creative and make a new shape? You can cut it into strips and then stack
I
it.
can do it like this. That's one cross over.
You can do it however you want. You can cut it diagonal.
That's gonna be 6.
Is this good enough? Is this good enough? I just cut straight down the middle and then I cut it.
So you already cut it twice. Remember, when you glue, it can't overlap. They can't be on top of each other. Your shapes have to be next to each other, touching. Good job, Ethan. But they can't, you don't want them to overlap. You can cut it however you want. Good. Right? When you're finished, I want you to write your name at the top. Just somewhere on your page. Good. Now glue it on there.
On top.
I'm going to put the glue back by the scissors. So if when you're done, you can trim them. Yes, ma'am.
I need to take this towel.
Good. Glue them on your white paper.
Is we doing some more shapes?
You can cut it however you want, and then glue it to your paper. Michaela is going to come around and collect your scrap paper, so now glue it to this. But you don't have to even glue it back into it.
I don't even know how this works.
Write your name on it. But they have to touch. The 2 shapes have to touch. But they don't have to, it doesn't have to go back inside. Huh?
Put a bit of
This
scissors
is what
thing.
I'm going to go back and do that scissors and then they done. And the way on the top.
You can go around right now.
Can I just go back? Yeah, with scissors.
I'm getting.
Sure, Mike, you don't have to do it.
I'm done. No, wait.
When you're done, if there's still more, you can. We have 2 minutes left, guys. He's already done it. So you need something to do, and you're not finished, so just work and finish. Here, look, she still has something to stop. No?
I'm done.
Look, and you don't have to glue it back on like out like this. You can put it different way.
Mine is already.
But you can put it back together.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get Vanessa's because she went with this one. We'll just put them in there. We'll sort them out.
Can I go like this? Go.
Now you cut it out into a couple more shapes and glue it onto your white paper.
I'm not finished.
Are you done with the print?
Yes, and Janai, go ahead and glue it back.
Who's done with scissors? You done?
You should be at this point. You should be gluing onto your white paper because time is almost up. You should be gluing onto your white paper.
Can I do it like this?
Mm-hmm. No, all your shapes have to touch. But yeah, so just make them all touch somehow. Yep.
It's not going to go like this.
Okay. What? I've been just crying.
Alright, raise your hand if you are still gluing. Alright, I'm going to give you 1 minute because I want you to finish gluing. So 1 minute. Yes, if you finish, I want you to write your name on it. You're going to keep your paper with you. It doesn't matter what color right now. We will sort them out later, so just collect them and we'll sort them later. No, just keep it on top of your desk with your name on it. All right, 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Can I see how to the camera?
5 seconds. Here, let me put your glue on there and you put it where it goes. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, here's what I want you to do. I want you to have your paper in your hand of the shape you just made. And I want you to hold it up in the air so I can see it. I'll be responsible. Give all the ones that look really good. Yep. Alright, so I'm coming around. I'm going to look. See, I want to hold up Raphael's real quick. I'm just picking random ones. Ruth.
I forgot my name on it.
It's okay, I'll give that to you.
No.
And Janaya. I'll take yours in a second. I want you to look. Janaya, actually come up here and hold yours. Because I can hold these. Ruth, come hold yours. And who else did I get? Raphael, hold yours. So hold it out so everyone can see. Quick, right here. What do we notice? Remember, I want everyone's eyes on these people at the front. Step back a little. Ethan says he can't see. Because he's at the front. Okay, you see now? So remember, our shape started like this. Julian, look at this way. And we had how many thirds gray? When we started right here? 2 thirds. And how many thirds red when we colored this red? 1 third. Somebody tell me, what do you think? Do we still, is our fraction, did it stay the same?
No.
Wait.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think? Yes, Janaya. Did we cut out any of the fraction and throw it away?
No.
What did we do?
We cut it in half.
Okay, you cut yours into halves. Raphael cut his into 3 parts. But did the amount of shape we have, the fraction, ever change?
No.
No, what changed?
The shape.
The shape. So all of our pictures that you made, they still represent thirds. 2 thirds gray and 1 thirds red, but look how different they look. Everyone should be looking at Michaela. Look, Michaela's she did kind of a wave like mine. But no matter how you made it look, we have 2 thirds gray, and whisper again, how many thirds red? Whisper to me. 1 third red. So who thinks they know what the purpose of doing this fun activity was? What was the purpose? What were we trying to notice and recognize from our standards? Okay, to help us with fractions. To recognize, but what about these fractions specifically? Janoya?
To recognize that fractions are like even if you cut it anyway, it's still gonna be the same exact fraction.
Good, because even though we cut it different ways, the fractions stay the same. Excellent job. I want you to just keep this on your desk for right now, and we're going to collect it later. Okay? So,
Can we go back?
actually, I've changed my mind. Miss Knuckles changed her mind. Jania's going to come around and collect all your papers. Make sure your name is on them. All right? So she's going to come around really quick and collect your fraction
Is
papers.
your name on it?
Make sure your name is on it. I'm giving her 6 seconds.
6.
Yep. 5. Janai, you collect that side. James, you can collect this side. Okay.
She got my name.
Don't rub it because it'll make it worse. Quickly write your name. 4. 3. 2. No, Savannah, just write it with a pencil there. Because we gotta work with it. 1. 0. Janaya, I want you to just lay them on the back table for right now. James, you can lay yours on the back table. I'm going to come around and give you your problem set. I want you to turn it to the back because we're going to start on the back together. When you have your paper with your name on it, I want you to put both hands on your head. So you need your paper with your name and then both hands on your head. So let me see how quickly we can follow those directions. Paper, name, hands on your head. Paper, name, hands on your head. Excellent job. Oh, Ruth forgot you. That's okay. Paper, name, hands on your head. I am looking for who's ready. Give some dojos. Paper, name, hands on your head. How many name on your paper? Your hands should be on your head. Michaela? All right, excellent job. All right, we are going to start on the back. Okay, you're fine. So you should be starting on the back with the paper with the number 3. So go ahead, bibbidi bobbidi boo, put your hands down. We're going to do the back 2 problems together, and then you're going to go with the partner and do the front. Okay? So if you would like to come to the carpet, I'm giving you 5 seconds. On a 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're not in a spot when I'm on 0, you're going back to your seat. because I'm at 1, so you're just knocking out of your seat. 0. Sit quickly, children. All right, number 3. Everyone should be at the back. Claudia, you should be at the back. On the back, voices. All right. Ethan, read number 3 loud.
A has 6 small
And,
square.
sorry, and.
And has 6 small square pieces of paper. Two squares are gray. Then he cuts the 2 gray squares in half with
A diagonal.
a diagonal line from one corner to the other.
All right, so stop right there. Has there anything we need to answer yet?
No.
No, but are there some important details we should underline?
Yes.
Yes. Ruth, give me something I need to underline.
And has 6 small square pieces.
Okay, so she has 6 small square pieces. I'm going to underline that. What else? Janaya?
Circle the numbers.
Good. Circle the numbers. So 6 is a number. What's another number you see?
2.
2. And what does the 2 go with?
6.
She has 2 what?
Square that are gray.
Squares that are gray. That's an important fact. And then what else? Something else. One more thing I think is important to underline. Ethan?
It says it cuts 2 gray squares in half with a diagonal line from one corner to the other.
So she cuts her 2 gray squares in half with a diagonal line from one corner to the other. Does everyone know what a diagonal line is?
Yes. Ooh,
Show me kind of with your hand how a diagonal line goes. Show me with your arm and your hand. Kind of like this. Good. Diagonal lines go like this. So she means, I'm going to do it on my paper and you go ahead and do it on yours. Her 2 gray squares, you see the picture of them? She cut them from diagonal, from one corner to the other, it says, in half. So that means how many parts do we have if she cut them in half? Show me with your fingers. How many parts? How many parts if she cut them in half? How many parts in each square? Show me with your fingers. I'm waiting. Good. Michaela, show me with your fingers how many parts in each square if she cut it in half. Good. Good. 2. She has 2 parts in each square now. She cut them in half. All right, Ruth, read A, please.
what shapes does she have now?
So we're looking at the gray squares. What shapes does she have now within her gray square, Brandon?
Triangles.
Triangles. So go ahead. Under A, you write what?
Triangles.
Triangles.
Can we just draw one?
Just tell me right now.
Angel has just like it, but 5 for an angel.
Yeah.
Make it triangle.
So this is kind of like angles, right? All right. B. Raphael, read B.
How many of each shape does she have?
So how many of each shape does she have now? How many triangles does she have? Show me with your fingers.
2 triangles.
And on all of her shapes, how many triangles does she have? Okay. I see some of you are saying 2, and some of you are saying 4. Miguel, why do you say 4?
Because she only has 4 squares and the other 2 gray ones.
Okay, so you're saying she has 4 squares. She does. Why did you say she had 4 triangles? You want to pass to a friend?
Ooh, I have her car. She has 2 in each.
Because she has 2 in each. So there's only 2 gray squares, right? But how many triangles in each gray square?
2.
2, so that makes 4. So she has 4 triangles. I'm going to use a T. And she has how many squares?
4.
4. Look. 1, 2, 4. She still has 4 white squares
So 4S.
and 4 squares. C, please.
Okay. Use all the shapes with no overlap. Draw at least 2 different ways and set off shapes might look. What fraction of the figure is red?
Okay, so she said, so we need to use all the shapes, so our 4 triangles and our 4 squares, and we need to draw it at least 2 different ways. So just like, kind of just like we cut out our third shape and we cut them out and made it look different when we glued it on, that's what we're going to do. So let's do one together, and then you can do one by yourself or with a partner. So how many triangles do I need to draw?
You need to draw
4 triangles.
and 4
So
squares.
here's a little triangle. And what did she say? Can I put them on top of each other? No, no overlaps, right? So I'm going to draw one triangle here. I'm going to do my squares blue. And then I'm going to draw a square. Yours can look like mine or it can look different. Sabaya, come add me a triangle to my shape. Okay?
I'm going to add
I'm going to just connect it for you. The board's kind of messed up. All right. Ethan, come out a square. We're going to try to make this go down. Hold on. There we go. Remember, they have to touch where they can't overlap. You're touching your arm. You're touching your hand on the board. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. So here's Ethan's square, right up next to Savan's triangle. So I have 2 triangles and 2 squares. Am I done?
No.
No. Ruth, come out of, you can pick. You want to add a triangle or a square?
And overlap.
Can't overlap.
What is it?
The board's kind of messed up.
A triangle?
Yeah, she's adding a triangle. Okay. So who? Brandon, come add one more triangle.
No, that's what?
You mean
No, we're gonna add a last triangle. It doesn't matter really. And our shape doesn't look. You know, this is just out in no man's land. It's got touch. Our shape looks kind of silly on the board because the board is imperfect. But on your paper, you can draw them real close to each other.
I'll do it as
Can I do it?
It's messing up. All right. Janaya, come out a square. Add 2 squares. Add one more. All right. So this is a crazy looking shape, right?
I can draw that.
What? You don't have to draw this one. You can draw your own. This just has to have 4 triangles and 4 squares. But it asks us what fraction of the figure is gray. And in our case, we made our triangles red.
4.
What fraction is what fraction of the whole?
4 out of 8.
4 out of 8.
Right. What
Okay.
did you draw the other one?
Ethan says 4 out of 8. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we're only going to draw one shape. So you finish your shape that you have, and then write what fraction is gray. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. No, we're trying to do it.
I have to make my own.
You can make your own. You do the same thing you did with our fraction. No. 1 minute left on your shape.
What do we have to do with knuckles?
Oh, yeah. All right. 30 seconds. No, don't touch your shape. 20 seconds. If you're done, you should be looking back at the board ready to move on with a quiet mouth. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3. Nope, there's one too short. 2, 1, 0. Really quick, before we move on, I want all eyes on the board. Quick. All right, you make sure you can see the board. Ethan said, when we asked what fraction are gray, he said 4 out of 8. And that makes sense in my brain because we see 4 that are red and 4 that are blue, and there's 8 in all, right? So look back up here. Are our triangles the same size as our squares? No. So really, look back up here. What's the fraction that is gray? Because we said it doesn't matter how we cut it, right? It's the fraction stays the same. So Janaya, what fraction is gray?
It's 4 out of 2.
Not 4. How many parts? How many squares in all?
4 out of 4. 8.
In all.
Oh. I'm so right on that. 6. 8.
6. Janaya, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's
And how many are gray?
2, so it's going to
2.
be 6 out of 2 still.
So how many out of 2? Show me. Out of 6. Show me with your fingers. How many out of 6 are gray? That was kind of a tricky question. It kind of tricked us because it is really 2 out of 6 because even though we cut our gray squares into rectangles, the fraction didn't change, right? There's still 2 gray out of 6 in all, right? No, it's okay. That wasn't a big time mess up. That was something Miss Knuckles might have thought that too. Probably everyone thought. It made sense, right? 4 out of 8. But it was a little bit tricky. It meant they were tricking you, kind of. All right, we're going to go to number 4. Very quickly.
Oh, can I
You
read
can
it?
start on number 4.
Oh, can I read it?
Okay. Actually, we are going to skip number 4.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is get with 1. You can work with the people sitting next to you at your table and turn to the front and do the front 2 problems together.
We're not going to do 4.
No, we're not going to do 4. We'll do it later, maybe. Or you can do it for homework.
No!
You don't have to.
I'm going to do it for homework. That would be better so we don't have to do it. I'll be... No, I'm doing it.
You do in the front with a partner. Get with a partner.
Ready for it? I copied it in the shirt.
How many in all? Hold on, Alright, you have 5 minutes. You're working with your partner. You're working together. You need to be respectful and you need to stay focused. I want you to do the whole front. Daniel, come to the
It don't matter.
What does it say? So look at how many is shaded out of that whole straight.
4 of them shaded and 1 is not. 4 is not shaded. So it's 4 and a 4.
Yes.
All are 8.
We're all 8?
Yeah.
So how many shaded? 4? Move on.
Oh yeah, what Miss Knuckles said, yeah, you have to count the one that's shaded and then all of them. Did you not name?
It's not 4 out. How many in all? How many in all?
No, we're doing that this way. We might go over.
No, I want you to tell me how many squares in all in this whole shape.
8.
8. So what should be your denominator?
4 out of 8.
8. And how many? Why are you saying 4 out of 8? You're right. Because how many are
Because 4
shaded?
is shaded.
Good. Good. You just got your denominator wrong.
Miss Knuckles.
Okay. No, why did you erase it back and do 4? Put it back to 8 because there's 8 in the whole shape. All right, now count this one up and do the same. Count how many in the whole shape first.
1, 2, 3, 3 shaded.
Remember, the denominator is always how many parts there are all together in the whole shape. Good. Now do this. Do this one.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's 2 shaded. They all 8. They all together is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's 1 shaded.
You can just circle this. They're not. If they're not close together, you can just circle both of them separate. The ones that are equivalent. Don't forget to circle your equivalent fractions, which means the ones that are what? Equal. All right, count this up. How many in this shape?
There's only 2.
Yes.
Miss Knuckle, can I circle a 6?
A million.
Look, this one's not equivalent. Okay, now go back and circle. Back up here and circle the ones that are the same. So like this. have to shade one in, right?
I'm confused about this.
The ones that are the same back.
I bet that I do way before.
When the timer goes off, I want you to turn your paper in, even if you're not finished, to the back basket. Green, yellow, or red.
I'm done.
Make sure your name is on your paper. Excellent job, Brandon. He turned his paper in and he came back to his seat on a 0. It's okay. Into green, yellow, or red. Sorry, Selena. I'm giving Brandon some respectful points. Mariah came back to her seat on a 0. Can you Excellent job, Ethan. You need to be back in your seat in 10. Excellent job. 9. 8. Oh, just you can leave those back there. We didn't need them. 7. 6. 5. I'm trying to hear any voices. 4. 3. Andre, secure your desk, baby. 2. 1. And 0. Good. Alright, we are about to do our exit slip. But before we get started, we're going to read our learning target. So we can remember, what was the purpose of everything we just did? What were we trying to learn to do? So let's read it, and then I want you to tell me in your own words. Ready? Here's on. 3, 2, 1, go.
I can recognize and show that equivalent fractions have the same sign.
Good. Mirrors off. So in your own words, what does that mean, Janaya? What were we trying to do?
We were trying to see if fractions would be the same, even if you cut it.
Right. Even if they were different what? Shapes. Right. Yeah. So we were trying to notice and show by what we did that if the fractions stayed the same, was it still equal even if the shape changed? Right? On your exit slip, there's just 2 questions. When you get done, you're going to turn it in to green, yellow, or red, just like you just turned in your problem set. You're going to have 3 minutes. You're working by yourself on a 0. You can go ahead and start. It's very similar to the work you just did on your problem set. Everyone has their paper now, so everyone should be starting. on. Where are you? Don't tell him. She just came in like from the bathroom.